What's good, people? Welcome back to my channel. It's Jem here. I'm going to try and shoot this in one take. I bet I won't though. I never get to do it in one take. I'm just not slick like that. Today's ScrumMaster Screw-up is about, well, it's between two screw-ups and two extremes that I've lived with as a you know, Scrum Master, Agile coach, whatever you want to call it. Believing that a Scrum Master either has to be technical or they don't have to be technical at all. And we'll define what this word means before we really get into it. But at the start of my career, I'd say for the first 5-6 years, I really yo-yoed between these two extremes of, yes, absolutely, you need to be technical, or nah, you don't at all in any way. When I use the word technical, perhaps, I don't know, let me use a metaphor. Let me do something that I never do. Let's say football, okay? If you were to say that someone is technical in a sport of football, it would mean that they could, I don't know, pass the ball, dribble, head, turn with the ball, good ball control. So these are like the things, the practices that allow somebody to be good at that sport. And there is a difference between being able to pull off a technical skill and doing it really well, and just having knowledge and awareness of what that technical skill is. I don't need to be Roberto Baggio, I'm showing my age now, let's say Messi, to know whether somebody can hit the ball well and score or control the ball really well. I understand what it looks like if I'm familiar with the sport of football. Having an understanding and awareness of that technical skill and being really good at it or average at it are very different things. So that's the first thing I just want to communicate across on this video. Now let me just dip into how does that play out when I believe that you don't need to have any technical skill, so skill, and you don't really need a technical awareness. That's quite an extreme position to hold. Many moons ago, when I joined a team, and I remember that this team, every sort of 4 to 6 weeks, they would have something called like a tidy up. I was scrum mastering 3 teams, which is kind of pushing it. So the level of focus I had with these teams was less. That could have been a contributing reason as to why I didn't find out more, sure. But when I did this tidy up thing, because it was the norm, they were okay with it, the business were okay with it, and I was like, whatever, you know, they can do what they're doing. In any case, what then happened after a certain period of time, so I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 months in, this tidy up thing that they used to do stopped. Now, when it came to my attention that there was a problem was when this team were asked to find out about the feasibility of some project work. The team took it away. Then what happened was the effort, the high level effort for this thing, so nothing granular, we're not talking points or hours, we're talking like, you know, a finger in the air, how big and how scary is this? It came back and it surprised everyone. And the business, understandably so, were like, look, why is this thing so big? And I had a discreet conversation with a couple of developers of that team. My questions were similar in respect of, what is it about this piece of work? Have we never done something like this before? Different domain, different technology. Is there a big change in teams? Like, why is it that this seems like such a large effort of work? And what we got to after quite a long conversation was that they weren't able to do the tidy up on a regular basis. So they went from doing it on a weekly basis to a monthly basis to kind of forgetting about it. Now, what they were really talking about was refactoring. Just to quickly sidestep here, refactoring, you shouldn't be put off by this term. When you refactor something, it means that you change the structure, but not the function of something. The team were not looking after the structure of the code base. And what that translated into was the requirements that were coming in would take far longer than they needed to. Imagine that this team were delivering food. They'd take requirements from customers, and something which would normally take, I don't know, an hour to cook might take 2 hours now because they had not been cleaning the kitchen on a regular basis because of the pressure from the customers to churn and get out as many dishes as possible. By me not having an interest or thinking that I don't need to have any technical awareness, I lost touch with what was actually happening. I wasn't able to understand if the team had been put into a position where they, kind of put the refactoring and the quality of code down to kind of like second-class citizen, and not because they wanted to, but because there was a pressure to go faster. And as a Scrum Master, if you understand that these things are being dropped out and you have an awareness of it, you can do something about it. Where does that happen? Is it a definition of ready? Is it a definition of done? Does it come up in a sprint planning meeting when people are estimating and you're talking about build the right thing, build the thing right? There's lots of different places for you to have an awareness around the technical stuff and to spot signals so that you can step in and support the team to get what they need so that they can make sure that they are continually supported and encouraged to keep quality as a priority. If you want to learn more, I'm going to be devising a free virtual webinar on this, on what are the technical things that you should know, have an awareness of as a Scrum Master and how it can help you serve the team. And it'll be great to hear your experiences on the level of technical know-how that you have or haven't had as a Scrum Master and how well has that helped you. Of course, there is the other side of the sword when you know too much and you're too technical and that can impede on the team's ability to make their own decisions. You may do less empowering and getting out of the way for self-organizing and more leading, which is really not Scrum Mastering. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to another Scrum Master Screw-up next week. Okay, adios.